is Victor. I'm here with a new painting tutorial, and now we are going to paint this guy. So this is the noble, the guy from the core city that is called Glaurio Ven Alten third. Glaurio Ven Alten third. And we are going to paint him in a different color scheme. As you know, I like to do my own colors. It's going to be more on the purples. I'm going to use purples and silvers for him, and I'm going to start using for the trousers a grey, Russ Grey. Okay, so we are going to apply this on his trousers, just a thin layer, and later on we are going to shade it correctly. Okay, we start with the, normally when we paint this type of miniatures, we try to start with the most hidden part. And in this case, I'm not using any contrast because I really want to have this type of color, and I think contrast, even the gray is not giving me the color I need. Okay, here we are. We have done that. Okay, and now I'm going to paint the face. Okay, I'm going to go in order to not to wait. We are going to now start working on the head, and here we can use a contrast paint as a starting point. And I want to go quite pale, and I will use Darkoath Flesch. Okay, it's the lightest one of the contrast paints. We're going to make a thin layer. Don't be too concerned if you cover the beard or any other part. And I try to go thin to keep the color as light as possible. Okay, don't forget the neck. I try not to cover the mustache and the beard, but if I cover a little bit, I'm not. It's better that you cover well all the skin than really being too concerned about dirtying other parts. Because here the important thing is to have a nice and uniform skin tone to work on top. For the metallics, I'm going to use different metallic paints. In this case, I'm going to use. I would like to test the Genestealer Purple Grey on a bigger surface. We'll put a little bit more here to shade a little bit more the eye. And I want to be sure that, okay, something like that. The only thing I did not want to dirten and the little thing is the fur, or this type of flash. So I'm going to use a little bit of white. Let's thin the white a little bit. I'm going to use a little bit of white to clean up this. Okay. Okay, something like that. Okay. Let's do now the armor plate. Okay, I'm going to do now first the armor plate that is covering his chest, and in that case I'm going to use, and I prefer not to put this on a wet palette. I prefer to use it on a normal palette. I'm going to use this, and I see he has a mirror as well, so I'm going to use Genestealer Purple, and I'm going to put this on the armor and on the mirror. Okay, so a little, you need very little of that. It's quite easy to apply, to be fair. So let's do the mirror. Okay, you will see the mirror. It's going to give a really glossy finishing. Okay, something like that. And I can put a little bit more like that. Now you can see, and we'll let it dry. And now we are going to apply it on the armor plate. you will see that it will give. I will not use this on the other plates. I will play with, and I will not use it neither on the shoulder pad. I will use it only on this part of the armor, just on this solid plate, to simulate that it's really a polish part of the armor, and I will not consider that. But we can use it as well on the. Well, I'm thinking not to use it as well on the. Yeah, we can use it on the shoulder pad as well. It's going to give a very nice chrome finishing. As you can see. And it's also, I know that maybe you should test on one of your character miniatures, but at the same time I'm testing it on bigger surface. Don't use it on the pistol will not be polished, nice, will be more rough finishing metal, but the armor plates, the swords, this type of things can have a more polished finishing. Okay, almost chrome finishing. This is what I'm trying to do here. Okay. You can see give a very nice and shiny metal. And the only drawback of that is that it needs some time to dry. Okay, so if you apply this, or you paint in another part of the miniature, being sure that you will not touch this part by accident, or you just wait some time that it dries, because you don't want to mess up with the finishing of this. You can see the mirror, how nice it looks like now. And you can see how nice the metallic looks like. Okay, now I'm going to wait that all this dries, and the other important thing is that with water, I'm doing water, but with water you will need some alcohol or solvent to clean your brush completely. The water will not clean it. Okay, so you will need, this is the only problem, you will need alcohol or some other kind of solvent. But I recommend you have a little bit of alcohol to clean your brush after that. Okay, so that's all for now. Let's wait that it's dry and I'm back. Okay, so this how it looks like now. We have a nice and glossy metal there. Now I'm going to use Apothecary white to do the furry part. Okay, all this type of fur or pelt, no, not pelt, it's really this, I will do like white fur in a way. I think will give this a very interesting touch, different from the traditional brown fur. Okay, and I think Apothecary white will really make the work and will help to do that. Okay, so I'm going to apply this on all the this type of fluffy fur coating protection that there is on the on the coat and on the armor plates at the bottom. Okay, so I'm applying this. You can see it will give a very nice touch. I want to give a really like a novel look to this wire, like a Renaissancist look. No, almost Napoleonic, something like that, you know, typical from the, it's more from the 18th century in Europe. This type of more on the Germans and the French people. So they looks more German, to be fair, this guy. Okay, so you do that on all this coating, and I'm back for the next step. Okay, next I'm going to use Genestealer Purple, and I'm going to paint something that is very, it's quite hidden here, that is the shirt or the clothes that he's wearing under the armor. I was hesitating between gray or blue, and at the end I decided that purple will give, as I want to go the purple for the coat, this light purple will work well and will give some contrasting color here. Okay, and on top is very little, so it's going to be almost non-visible. Okay, next, the hair of this guy is going to be black. I was thinking if I want to do brown, but no, I will use black Templar, and I will apply it. We can go as well blonde, but I think, yeah, we can go blonde maybe. Yeah, I'm changing mine, and I will go black. I think it's going to make more sense. So I'm going to use black Templar, the contest paint. I'm going to apply it on the hair, and on the beard. Okay, now we are going to put it on the beard. Okay, I'm doing that, and I'm back for the next step. Okay, next I think the boots I will go for a dark brown. I was thinking if I was going for the red, but no, at the end I will use Cygor brown, and with this Cygor brown, the contest paint, I'm going to do the boots, and I'm going to do the armor where we have the armor plates. So what we want to do, let me show first on the armor. So what I want to do on the armor, I want to be carefully go like that, but you also want to do to fill the spaces between the armor plates. Okay, if you go a little bit over the armor plates, it's not a problem, but be sure that you fill these spaces. And then we do this space there. Okay, and I'm going to do the boots and the belt. Okay, like that, and now I'm going to spread So the paint over. You want to be very careful with the parts that we did in white fur. You don't want to dirten them now. And I cover all these parts, okay? So I will do this and I'm back for the next step. Okay, this how looks like now. And next I'm going to use again Genestealer Purple. Okay, this one. And I'm going to apply it on this piece of cloth he has there. This is going to be quite weak in some parts. Also we'll cover is the same cloth that is here, okay? So I'm applying this one and I will be back for the next step. Okay, this is how it looks like now. Next I'm going to use Xereus Purple and I'm going to paint the jacket with this. This is going to be a darker purple, more the color I was looking for. And I want to avoid the red in the case. I know that it's painting red by Games Workshop, but I wanted to go for a different color scheme because the vampires will be on red. Okay, so I want to avoid that everybody, that the heroes are also on the same color at least. And I also have painted the man eater with some, the ogre with some red, the corpse eater, sorry. So I prefer to paint this novel in more on the purple scheme. I think will look interesting as well and will give a distinguished color. And purple, it's also a royal color, so was used in the past as a royal color. So although today can have other connotations, I think it's still one of, it's a very cool color and it will look very nice as a jacket. So I'm doing that and I'm back for the next step. Okay, next step I'm going to use Russ Grey, not Russ Grey, sorry, this one, Dark Reaper, very dark gray, and I'm going to paint this part of the shirt. Oh, I should do, no, it's a mistake, this one. I should do this purple as I did the neck. Sorry for this one. And I will use Genestealer Purple as I did. It's not a pollen, that is mixed a little bit with the grey, because this is a shaded part. So we're going to shade it later on. And I'm thinking I should shade with greys maybe here, because it's quite a dark part. And the gloves, I'm thinking to go for white gloves. So I'm going to use again Apothecary white, and I'm going to paint the gloves in Apothecary white. I will go for white gloves. It's going to be symbol of his wealth. and position. Okay, I'm doing white glove, and I'm back for the next step. Okay, next step, I'm going to use Gore Grunta, and I'm going to apply this on the handle of the sword. Okay, I'm going to do a combination of metal, but this part has to be leather normally, and I want to give a different color than the dark leather we have put in all the other parts. Okay, and I'm going to use it. I'm wondering if the pistol we have wood visible. Yeah, we have some wood visible, because normally this part here, normally this part is wood on the old pistols. Okay, I'm going to do that. And the handle, but the handle is not visible because then there is this metal protection at the bottom, so you can hit your opponent with the handle of the pistol if you have shot all your bullets. And this part is all the mechanism, so it should be metallic. Okay, let's wait that this dries, and while this is drying I'm going to use Druchi Violet, and I'm going to wash the coat. Be careful not to dirten anything. I'm going to wash this. I'm going to wash as well this part there on the belt. Okay, so we start doing all the shading we need on the parts where we have not used. Okay, I'm doing that. Here you can see quite easy. And I'm going to do as well this one. I want to do this before doing the metallics. Okay, here where you have to be super careful is this part here. I want to apply the shade anyway, and I want to be very careful not to dirten anything. Like that, because then it will give much more as well here on the shirt. And there. If you go over the brown, it's not a problem because will not be visible, but over the silver you have to be extremely careful. Okay, I will know that all this dries before doing any further step. Okay, next step I'm going to use a silver color. In that case I'm going to use the silver from miniature paint. You can use any silver that you have. And we are going to paint the armor plates that we have at the bottom. This type of armor plates, and I'm going to paint as well the weapons and anything that is metallic and I have not painted yet. Okay, so I want to give a nice, here you want to go slowly and really define very nicely what are the limits of the plates, trying to leave, if possible, a small line of leather in between. Maybe not always possible. It's not going to be a big deal because later on I'm going to apply a wash of Agrax Earthshade that will help to that. Okay, but you can see here, I already realizing I did the contrast paint did not cover this correctly. I'm using Reynolds High now to cover this. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this part of this this car. I'm going to do the pistol, and yeah, the pistol is quite straightforward. You just do a thin layer. Okay, and later on we are going to wash it to pop up all the details that it has. Okay, so we are going to do all this, and there is not much to explain here. Just try to go to take your time and to be precise as possible. There's steps that really example here, yeah, they were too close, the plates. Okay, don't worry, if you cover some of the brown that we did before, don't worry, but it's not going to be a big deal. So I'm going to do that and I'm back for the next step. Okay, next I'm going to do a warm touch to it, and I'm going to use Averland Sunset. Okay, with Averland Sunset I will do the trimming on the jacket. So it's going to be this part. This to give more, to combine with the gold later on, to move a little bit, to have something in there more on the warm spectrum. If you don't like this, you can go with a light blue or grey to do all this trimming, or even white if you prefer. In my case I wanted to go for yellow. I will do as well this in yellow. So the thing, I think at the end will combine nice with the gold that I'm going to use for the mirror, for example. And on the buttons. And this is cool, I think I will change it to gold as well with a wash. Okay, so here, again, just be patient and do all this trimming. Again, here I give in some colors, but always you can, as I do, you can deviate. Just showing. Okay, I'm doing that and I'm back for the next step. Okay, next step, I'm going to use Retributor Armor, and we are going to paint the frame of the mirror. We are going to paint the rings. Okay, and we are going to paint as well the buttons. I really like Retributor Armor as a color, as a paint. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And I'm back for the next step. Okay, this is how it looks like now. Okay, quite happy with the look we are getting here. I'm going to do a couple of washes, and I think I will split the video in two parts. So first I'm going to apply Agrax Earthshade on the bottom armor plates, okay? These ones here. The main reason is, although it will give us brown tint on the, I think will make sense in these ones to give a little bit more adhesion tint, but will also help me to put this brown line between the armor plates, and I think will make sense. I'm very careful again on the white part, not to do it on the white part, and now I realized that I forgot to do this back there. That's not a problem. Okay, and I don't want to put too much, I don't want to brown too much I just want to be sure that it goes into the crevices and I have a good definition of the armor plates. Later on, if needed, we can always come back with the silver to add some, but that's all. And then the other color I'm going to use is Nuln Oil on the pistol, and will not put it on the shoulder pad. I will not go neither on the armor, on the front armor plate. It's just on the pistol that I want to really pop up all these mechanisms. Again, I try to be careful not to dirty the gloves of the hand. You can see that now the rings are very nicely there. One thing I want to show you is as well, there is an earring there that I also painted in gold. I do all the jewelry, in gold. Okay, you can see, and then I will do the same here. Okay, and here. And again, you want to be careful not to dirty anything. This part is quite tricky. What I did there on the hole, I just applied gray, dark gray. I think was the I forgot the name of the gray. Then I apply this one, the dark Reaper. Okay, not important. If you have prime in black, it's good enough. You don't have to do anything there because it's not going to be visible. Applying there, and applying as well here on the buckle. Okay, and like that. It's good. Then on the mirror, I'm going to use this one. Okay, you can do the mirror. I'm going to apply this one, but you want to apply it quite thin. Okay, so it's the Soulstone Blue. I thin it down and I apply this, and here that I have this white visible, I will apply a little bit more, like that. Should be good enough. And now I'm going to take Aggaros Dunes, and I'm going to apply it here is cool. Do you see? No, it's gold. This is cool. I love that. And now we are going to do as well this back. Try not to dirten the white fur. And you can see these Aggaros dunes and even a snake by leather with one coat. You have more than enough. Another thing I want to apply, I forgot to do. I'll take again Nuln Oil and I will apply it on the trousers and the boots. And here I will finalize part 1 of this painting tutorial. On the second part we are going to start working on all the different details, highlights, and we are going, I'm expecting to finalize the miniature on part 2. I prefer to do it in 2 smaller parts than in a very long big video. It's easier for edition, but it's also easier for the viewers just to see, because this can be considered now a nice tabletop. Okay, this is ready for tabletop. Of course, there are parts that need some additional work, like the shoulder pad if you want, and of course I will work on every part because I like to put some highlights. And I will put a little bit of Nuln Oil in the eyes. A very easy way to do eyes, just apply a little bit of Nuln Oil and sometimes if it's glossy, Nuln Oil will even work better. Now we will wait that this dries. And I will be back in the part 2. So I hope you have enjoyed this video up to here. Please give a like if you have liked the video, share if you think other people can be interested, and as usual, thanks a lot for watching and keep tuned for the second part. Bye!